Hey there, Soul Shines. It's Michelle here, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. And I am so sorry. I have been super focused on a couple of things, and it has made it so that social media and making videos has kind of got away. I've been really fully stepping into the idea of being a house intuitive. And so, what is a house intuitive? If you've heard of a medical intuitive, a medical intuitive tunes in to the body, the energy of the body, and they can see what's going on. Um, I've heard of some that can actually see like cracks in the bone that they heal, and um, many of them can tune into the foundational grids that make up our bodies, and all kinds of different energies that run through our bodies. These people have the ability to tune in and heal it. I've never been able to do that. Um, my connection with healing bodies is very limited, but I have always been able to do that with homes, or for as long as I've been aware of how to do energy work, period. Every time I learned something energetically, I looked at how can it be applied to healing the home, or how can it be applied to problems that we have with our homes, like our own attitudes about our homes, our own inability to declutter? How can we use these tools? It's always, I've always done that for as long as I can remember. As I've learned an energy healing technique, I've sought a way to apply it to the home. I've sought a way to help people to uh, change the energy in their home and to raise the vibrations in their home. Um, it's been something that I've always done, but then I've kind of like, oh no, I can't really do that. And I go off into something else for a while. And then I come back to it for a while, and then I go off into something else. Recently, I called myself a house intuitive, and I just felt a shift inside of myself. And I realized that's what I do. I tune into the energy of the house. I tune into the energy that's creating the problems in the house, because sometimes that energy comes from ourselves and our families, and that's what I tune into and change. Tune into what is holding us back from letting go of things so that we can live in a home that we want to live in. We can experience the energy we want. Um, the thought that's coming to my mind is the idea of why people are hoarders. There are so many opinions on why, and every single one of those opinions is a valid reason. But don't just look at somebody who is a hoarder and assume that that is their problem. I recently worked with somebody who their challenge with hoarding was about this need to save it for um, being prepared in the future. It was just like a safety issue. Other people who I've worked with, their problem with hoarding has been about filling a void inside of them, filling up that place, wanting to feel more love. They don't have enough love inside of them, so they're surrounding themselves. So there's more than one reason why people have clutter. There's more than one reason why things are falling apart. I mean, granted, most of the time, if a fence is falling apart, there's probably some boundary energy, um, some kind of boundary issue going on. For myself, it was not believing that God had my back. I had a lot of problems with the energy in the back of me. Um, and it manifested in my house as a problem with boundaries in the back. I healed my house's energy, and that energy along the back healed that hole. And then I also healed in myself the belief about God having my back, and I felt a completely different energy behind me. It was amazing. In so doing, within a couple of weeks of, I think it was within a week, but really soon after I did that energy work, our neighborhood decided to do a cleanup, and they picked our house as one to help get in order. They knew that we didn't have a lot of means and skills to repair these things ourselves, and they came in and they repaired that fence. Um, and these kind of things happen for people. Our homes manifest what's happening in ourselves. We can look at the things in our home and check for a pattern. sometimes we change things within ourselves, and I've got to go in and change the energy of the home because it hasn't quite, because the home hasn't been changed. It picked up the pattern. Um, and sometimes we move into a home and the home already has a pattern, and we take that pattern on into ourselves because we can't become like those we hang around with, and that includes the vibration of our home. So we may choose a home based on its vibration being a match for us, and then as we change ourselves and our homes may or may not align with us. Sometimes we feel like it's time to move on. Sometimes we want to change things in our home so that they vibrate higher. Um, we also may choose a home that is what we want it to be, but we come in with our baggage, and that changes the energy of our home. Um, and sometimes we choose a home just because we're desperate and it's convenient, but that home has an energy in it from previous owners that we then start absorbing. An example of this is I've heard a story, it was in one of the books I read, that somebody moved into this home and they had never had a problem with weight before in their lives, but when they moved in that home, they started having a problem with weight and they had a problem with eating. And the previous owners actually had these problems and they left them in the home. And so that's what I get to do. And it has been so fun and it has been so amazing. And it doesn't feel like work. It feels like, oh, I don't know what it feels like. It just is so beyond the English language to be able to put words for it. But it feels amazing and it feels incredible. And being aware of this, it's so funny. I felt like I needed to clean some, well, I actually got emotions tied with it. I've had dishes, and I'm like looking here, they're right here by me, some of them. I've had dishes packed away on a shelf, and I kept on asking myself what it is I needed to change certain things in my life. What can I do in my home to support me in those changes? And I felt like I needed to declutter and go through those and really find out what ones I really want to keep, what ones really will spark joy, um, that kind of thing. It was super hard because a part of that is saying, I may never get my own place. If I let these dishes go, then I'm admitting defeat, is one of the feelings that I felt as I was going through that. Like, if I let them go, and really it's like, but if I need something again, can't it come back to me? Um, that's a trust thing. So I've got to trust enough to let him go. So I chose it. I chose to trust. But in the process, we brought all of the boxes into my room, and I literally felt just by bringing these boxes in here for me to sort through, I really literally felt some of the things in my life fall apart. Like there became more chaos and some other things in my life, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to finish this project and clean it up so that my life can get back to order. And that's how quickly and amazingly our homes can affect us. So if you're having a problem in your home, you're welcome to hire me. I am for hire. Just send me a message, or um, I think if you go on my profile, you can send me an email. I think I have it set so that you can. Hopefully, I have it set so that you can. I'm working on getting a place where people can contact me more easily. If you're on Facebook, you can find Soul Shine Life and send a message through there, or you can look for me, Michelle Lewis, and if you find the profile picture that looks like this, looks like me, then you know it's me and you can send me a message there. Be sure to let me know where you saw me from so I know what it's about. But I'm really good at checking the message requests from people that I'm not connected with. If you just want to look at your house and ask yourself home to help create order, or the feeling in my home that I want to have, like how can I help my home feel like a sanctuary to me? You may get impressions of things to declutter. You may get impressions of a room just to clean up. Like if you clean up that one room, it will help shift the energy enough that you have motivation to do what it is you need in your life. If you're struggling with money, ask what in my home can I change to help change the energy of money? Things like that. I have a lot of questions like that. Um, and when I tell you to change things in your home, I'm not saying neglect what's going on inside. Our homes are a manifestation of what's going on inside of us. Um, we can always find at least one pattern in our home that connects back inside of us. So with my dishes, one of the things I was holding on to was the life that could have been. Um, if I hadn't have gotten a divorce, I would have been using all of those things. Um, and it tied back to if I hadn't have married that guy, then I would have never ended up in a divorce. If I had have married this other guy that ditched me 20 years ago, um, how would life have been different? If I would have never had my oldest son out of wedlock, how would my life have been different? There's all these should like could have been. This is what my life could have been that I was kind of holding on to. And I allowed myself to let go of those and let go of that experience and realize it really doesn't matter of how my life could have been. This is how my life is. And what matters is this is now, and this is what I can create. All the possibilities that I can create. And when I let these things go that I'm choosing not to keep, and I have three categories. I have the let it go. I have the things that I really do have such that bring me such joy that I'm excited for that one day when I will use them. I'm not ready to let go of them, but I'm definitely whittling it down to a much smaller number. And then I have things that I'm adding to what we're using now, and or offering the opportunity when my mom comes, excuse me, when she comes home from her trip tomorrow, we can go through the stuff that I pulled out that I think would be fun to use now. Just ask her, would you like to use this now in our home? Sorry, not cool. So asking, would you like to use this, and so that we can start getting use out of it. But when I let the things go that are going, and there already are quite a few that I'm letting go, I can let them go with the intention that as I let them go, first of all, I'm very grateful for all that they have done for me, all they've taught me, the use that I've had, and even the security that they offered by being up in the closet for a while. I can be so grateful for the role that they fulfilled in my life. Set them free with the intention that as I let them go, I trust that I can create the most amazing future, that I am very grateful and present in now. And so those are some of the ideas and things that are happening that I would like to share with you. I'm not sure what to do about the YouTube channel. I am going to finish the series. I'm going to actually do at least one video of that series now to schedule. But I'm not really sure. I know that I still love to teach you guys and share with you. I'm not sure if I need to rebrand myself, if I continue to share just like waking up ideas. I think that clearing out our house is a great way to wake up and live. It's like for me, letting go of the stuff, it's a way to really become present with who I am right now. And decluttering does that for you. You really get to look at, there's so many ways you can do it, but one of it, it's really looking at like the now, like presently. Is this good for me now and then going forward in the future? And so I'm not really sure. I'm kind of not in a space where I feel terribly concerned about figuring it out. So for a while, you may have super sporadic videos. I definitely haven't been watching. I'm like, feel so bad. There's some people that I like really enjoyed their videos and I haven't watched in ages, but it's like my life is full and I'm doing sessions and I'm doing um, these amazing things. I'm having, um, it's summertime, so my kids are home and we're having fun with that. And I want to really be here for my kids. And so I'm just gonna put it out there that when the time is right, I will know exactly what to do with my YouTube channel. And I know that when I become very clear and settled with it and it clicks in, just like clicking into Home Intuitive, all of a sudden my business took off. I made more money in the last week and a half than I have made in years. And that's not a lot of money, but it's still pretty powerful for me that when you click into what your soul wants to do, it just happens. And so I know when I've got things figured out for the YouTube channel, everything will click in and it will just go and it will grow and it will be amazing. So that's what I have to share with you guys today. I hope you find some amazing value in it. I hope you forgive me for kind of going AWOL for a while. And I love you guys. Even though I'm not here all the time, I still love you and I think about you and I appreciate you. I miss many of you. Um, some of you because you haven't been posting, and some of you because I haven't been watching. But I miss you guys, and um, miss sharing my knowledge in this way. So I'm excited for when that stuff all clicks into place. Remember, everybody, let your soul shine big, bright, light, and beautiful. Be the incredible you that you were meant to be, and I will see you guys